Hello, Transformation Explorers. Welcome back to the Transformation Zone Conversations. Today, I want to talk about how writers can help us on our own journey. I was just sitting here reading Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. He's one of my favorite writers. You may know one of his famous characters, Sherlock Holmes, and of course his sidekick, Dr. Watson. I began reading this and I started thinking, how can I have a conversation with my viewers about how a writer can help us with our personal transformation? And then I thought about the process of writing. I'm no writer, but I do know one thing about the process, is it needs to be laid out fully before you can actually start writing. You have to have a clear idea about where the story is going. What is the outcome? Who is the main characters in the story? In Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, of course, Sherlock Holmes is our main character. He's our hero, per se. And the outcome is a solution to a mystery. For us, the outcome is achieving our aspirations. But just like a writer who writes a mystery novel, we need to understand all the nuances. We need to understand all the clues that will help us along the way. And by doing that, we need to look at all the different stops along the way. When do we see these clues? When do we use the information that we have been presented to help us make that transformation? Now, it's really hard if you're not planning properly. If you just start it, let's say you go out and you buy a book off the shelf, a DIY or self-help book. Is that really planning? Or is that just reading information about somebody else who's done something? I think it's really important to get a strong picture, as my friend Stan would tell you, because everything begins with a picture, and it's true. We need to visualize who we want to become. Once we can understand who we want to become or what we want to become, we can then start to say, okay, that's the end of our story, at least for that part. Let's figure out all the steps along the way. Once we have a kind of a rough outline, we can then start our journey. For me, it's a visual map of where we are and where we want to go. For you, it may be Post-it notes on a wall. Say, this is what I want, and you can add things as they go through. But also, key important thing, just like a mystery writer, there are times when things are interrupted. We're sidetracked. We're misled down some other path. We always have to be able to come back to our path and go, where were we? And what caused us to get off path? And let's get back on path. Let's get back on our focus of our desired outcome. I can imagine what it would be like if Sherlock Holmes got distracted all the time. I don't think there would ever be an end to any of these books. And part of that is also finding the right guide to help us author our next version of ourselves. I always tell people you need to be the author of the new you, your next me. And to do that, we need a lot of planning. We need to visually see it out. I'm going to keep repeating that because visualization is very important for success and achieving our aspirations. So take a moment, sit down, try to visualize. Maybe it's clipping information from magazines and paperwork and newspapers, if you still read a newspaper, and kind of create a collage, a vision of what your aspiration would look like. Then start working back till to today so you know which way you're going forward. Also, you might want to figure out what happens if you get distracted. How do you get yourself back on path? You know, as a transformation explorer, we have to be resilient. We have to push the boundaries sometimes of our journey. And that's what being a true explorer is about. I want to thank you for this moment, for stopping by and having a conversation about planning and how to be the author of your own journey. Until next time, I'm Kevin Dully, and this is the Transformation Zone Conversations. I hope to see you soon.